A wise man once said, nothing teaches you better than your own mistake if you're paying attention to. Hey investors, welcome back to another episode of Vishal Wealth View, your weekly dose of investment insights and market updates. Here we not only share powerful lessons from the market, but also put them into action by managing and growing a six-figure portfolio right in front of you. In today's episode, I'll be sharing my trades of year 2024-2025 and I'll be ranking them in this chart. I'll be going through each and every one of my investment in details and I'll be sharing what's the reason for this investment. This is an opportunity for you to learn from my mistake because some of you might be holding these companies. So without wasting much time, let's start this episode. So let's start with the first trade of 2024. It was in June 2024 and I lost almost 6,26,000 in that trade. It was in a company called Varenium Cloud and I was investing in this company since October 2023 till April 2024. Now, this was a new age technology company. They were building edge data center and new technology, and there was a good amount of fuss about it. Their profit numbers were looking really good. Their EPS was really good. The company was trading at a single digit P with a healthy ROC, and that's why I checked all of my fundamental check boxes that I do before investing in this company. And because of like all these fundamentals, I got a bit bullish because the valuation was really less, and I was like, okay, can this be a big bet? And from October till December, the company stock price corrected almost 25%, 30%, and I doubled down at that time, and this was a mistake. I should have like waited for a while, thought about my investment once again, and not just invest in this particular company because I was sitting on a loss. And in the end, I ended up losing almost 6,46,000, including taxes. Now, if you see even Nifty GBT, you'll see a bullish trend on the sentiment on this particular company. The stock is trading at a historical low valuation of 4. It does not have any value. I sold it at almost 14, 15, and right now it's trading at a 4 rupee price. Now, if you see like the sentiment analysis properly, there are some red flags regarding this company. This company was involved in fraud, and this company was under SEBI's radar because the CEO used the capital raised from the market to pump and dump the stock. And this is one of the key factor that any new investor who is investing in SME companies now have to think about. According to market expert, this is just the tip of an iceberg. Fewer regulation were meant to attract good quality SMEs to the market. Instead, it has attracted the wrong ones. And I completely agree. Recently, you must have heard of this case where a company called Jane Street were trying to play around in the FNO market, and a lot of retail investors lost a lot of money because of that. Now, there are two problems. One is lack of regulation, and second is those regulations are not enforced across the board in the public markets. So, whenever a retail investors like you and me is trying to invest in market, we have to be really cautious with our money because there's a lot of places where there's actually no value and no um, I would say no great money making opportunity and just frauds and pump and dump scheme that's happening in the market. So choosing a long term investment horizon and investing through index ETFs or index fund might be a really good strategy for majority of the investors. So how will I rank my trade in Varanium? I think I could have saved at least some amount of money if I just cut off that position in December and not double down on it. And I think I got greedy. तो मेरे को इसको बेटा लालच बुरी बला है bucket में डालना पड़ेगा. I have to accept it. I got greedy and I ended up losing a lot of money. So in terms of loss, we are sitting at almost 6.5 lakh just because of this one single trade in my portfolio. Now, second trade on our portfolio is a company called Nykaa. They are a marketplace that sell BPC products, and BPC means beauty and personal care. And they are entering into fashion, and they also are setting up physical stores, and that's the reason why they came up with an IPO. Now, I invested in this company almost a year after the company's IPO, and the company's stock was actually depressed. And I kept investing in this company for a period of 6 months, I think, from November 2022 till July 23. And in total, I was able to gain a total profit of 13,000 in year 2024. Now, this is a profit of about 7 to 8% over a period of, I think, 1 year. So, what's the story of this trade? So, I started investing in this company right after the company stock price corrected by almost 50% from this range, and I kept on investing till May 2023. And I cut out all my position during Feb 2025 when the stock was trading at around 170, 180 range. And currently the stock is trading at almost 220 price with a similar market cap to sales ratio. Now, since then, there has been a correction in market cap to sales. Back then, when I invested in this company, the market cap to sales was trading at almost 16, 15, and right now it's trading at 7 to 8. And since last 2 year, it has been range bound. And you cannot use PE to judge valuation of a company like this. You have to use market cap to sales ratio. Now, I initially invested in this company when I think it was overvalued from my point of entry. But over a period of time, I built small position and I was able to make my trade profitable by Feb 2025. But I was not able to gain any major returns. That money could have grown at the same rate in an FD or in a high yield saving account. So I think I would like to rank this as like pointless. There's no point of this trade. It did not make me it did not move my portfolio by a huge margin because the capital that I invested was not huge, and the company was also not highly undervalued. So, like, what's the point of all this? So, if we see our total value, I think we are sitting at a 0.13 lakh profit because of this trade and 6.5 lakh loss because of the Varanium trade. Jumping on to my next trade, we have Ujjivan Small Finance Bank. Now, I invested almost 30,000 in year 2021 and 2022, and I liquidated these positions in August 2024. And I was able to gain a capital of almost 16,000, which is a capital gain of 15%, 50% over a course of, I guess, 2, 3 years. Now, along with year 2024, 2025, this year as well, I liquidated some of my position in Ujjivan Small Finance Bank, and I was able to have a profit of almost 35,000. So, in total, I was able to gain a profit of 50,000 on a total purchase of 1 lakh 50,000, I guess. So, I was again invested in this company, and these stocks or these shares were purchased during the time of November 2022 and March 2023. And this was a successful trade. So, how will I rank my trade in Ujjivan? So, Ujjivan is a small finance bank, and I invested in this company when this was trading at a single digit PE. So, this was a value investment for me, a value play. And the company had a like rising NPAs, and I realized the rising NPAs was a reason because we hit a COVID crisis, and I expected that the company's NPA would turn around over a course of time when things cool down. So there was some amount of risk, but I was aware about those risks, and I was able to like convince myself that this is the right amount of money to pay for this much risk. So I would put that into a like I think I was right bucket. I would not say I got lucky because in that case, my returns would have been like 100% or 200% over a course of 3 years. But I think this was expected. I got almost 50% return over a course of 3 years in this particular. Now, next up, we have HDFC Bank. Now, I don't want to tell you what HDFC Bank is. If you're watching this video and you don't know what HDFC Bank is, I think you should stop watching this video. So, HDFC Bank is the biggest bank in our country, and I usually swing trade in this company whenever I think the stock is trading really below its actual mean valuation. And in the year, like last year, I invested in this particular company in Jan 2022 till what time? I invested till May 2023, and in some of the trades, I was able to gain profit, and in some of the trades, I was not able to gain profit. So, on a total buy value of 2 lakh, I was able to gain a profit of 17,000 over a course of Jan 22 till June 24. That's 2.5 years. So, not that great, I would say. Along with that, in current financial year, I have also liquidated some amount of HDFC share. I was able to gain a profit of 20,000 on a buy value of 80,000, and I invested in this particular company during the time of May 23 and October 23. So all in all, 20,000 plus 17,000, that's equivalent to 37,000 over a course of 2.5 years. So I got a profit of almost 0.37 lakh on a capital of 2.8 lakh invested. That's profit more than I think 17, 18%, but that's over a period of 2.5 years. So this is not a huge gain, but I was not expecting a huge gain because HDFC Bank is a large cap stock. It's not going to give me a 2x returns in 2 years, 3 years. So I was mainly trying to do swing trading in this company, and I think I was able to gain a decent capital. But again, I'll put this in the boundary of what's the point of all this bullshit and goddamn's mama, right? So I was able to gain a profit of 1.01 lakh over a course of 2.5 years by investing in these three company. Now, some of them were right investment and some of them were pointless investment. I think there is not a huge amount of profit I gained from investing in Nika, and that's why I think it's completely pointless. Now, by this time, I realized that investing in individual companies is actually not highly beneficial for me because I was not able to beat Nifty by a huge margin. And then I shifted towards investing in ETF, and that's where my focus has been. So, next in line is Grow India Defense ETF. Not Grow, but I invested in Motilal Oswal India Defense ETF. So, let's talk about this trade. Now, Motilal Oswal Nifty India Defense ETF right now is tracking India's biggest defense companies, and I think four or five companies constitute almost 60% of the index. I have traded some amount of units in this index, and right now I'm like sitting on a profit of about 12%, and total shares that I'm holding are about 8,540 shares. So I started building position in this particular index since the beginning of April, and I moved my capital in this particular index because I was thinking maybe it's a good protection or a hedge against the entire trade war that was happening. In terms of the trade, I have booked some amount of profit, and if we see the total buy value was about 1 lakh, and I was able to get a return of almost 40,000, which is about 40% over a period of almost 2, 3 months. Now, this is and actually a lucky bet. Like I did not expect this particular index is going to give such a massive return just because of this trade war. And there were two or three more things that started after the trade war. One was India-Pakistan war, and the second was the entire conflict in the Middle East between Israel and Iran, and that acted as a catalyst for this particular index to reach even higher prices. So since then, I've liquidated some of the position, booked some profit because I thought currently the entire index is trading at a premium valuation, and this might be a consolidation phase. And since the entire index is trading at a P of almost 60, 62, I was not comfortable sitting at these valuations, so I booked some profits. Now I was able to get a return of almost 40,000 on a capital of 1 lakh over a period of 3 to 4 months. Now this was actually a lucky bet. I could not have known that I would get 40% return in 2, 3 months, and I was expecting a moderate 15 to 20% return over a course of 1 year. So that's why I'll put this into luck is my middle name bucket. And our total profit after this would be about 1.68 lakh. My next trade is in an index called Nifty 200 Momentum 30. Now, this index is tracking 30 companies in Nifty 200 space that are observing the highest price momentum. And this index is rebalanced every 6 months. It's managed by NSE right now. I am a long term holder for this particular index and ETF, but let's try to analyze this trade and the reason for this trade. Now, I'm a long-term investor in this particular index, and it's one of the core pieces of my portfolio. Right now, I'm holding almost 53,000 shares. However, last year, oh sorry, in this year or last financial year, I actually booked some losses. If you see these two trades, the main purpose of these trades was to book losses. Um, I invested and booked a loss of almost 1,80,000 because I was trying to offset my profits in the mutual fund portfolio. And this is a rule that we have in our system that if you have long term capital gain, you can offset it by short term losses. Now, I invested this capital again in these index at 1 or 2% less prices. So I was able to short it as well. So I did not gain any major profit because I like bought the same index back, but I actually saved paying taxes at least for now, and I don't have to worry about having some amount of cash flow for government to pay based on my mutual fund trades. So that was the whole purpose of this trade and Kotak Alpha 50 trade. And as you can see, this is almost a loss of 2 lakh 50,000 in the last financial year. Along with that, I did one trade in this financial year because I moved this capital into defense ETF as well. However, the reason of this trade was different from the reason that from the trade that I did last year. So how would I rank this entire trade? So even I booked some amount of losses in this particular index. However, I was able to purchase just after a week or two at a relatively lower price from the sell price. So even though I was able to sell taxes, I was able to gain at least 1% profit during that time because I was able to purchase at a lower price when the momentum was going down. And I think one thing that I'm learning from this entire journey was I think we have to keep the track of direction of the momentum index. If it's relatively going down in past 3 months, it's a good idea to short that entire index and gain more profit because these are Nifty 200 companies. These are the biggest companies in India, and they are not going to go away anytime in future. I would like to book Kotak Nifty Alpha 50 trade in this bucket only because the main purpose of this trade was to book losses so that I can save some amount of tax. So this brings our total loss to 9.5 lakh because if we combine the total loss of these two trades, then it was about 3 lakh. So my next investment was in gold ETF, and I was trying to build position in this particular index called ICICI Prudential Gold ETF to build hedges in my portfolio because I was pro equity, and I thought gold might serve as a good hedge for my entire portfolio for the geopolitical tension. However, my mind changed after some days, and I decided to take back this investment because I realized, hey, I cannot beat even the index by investing in gold. However, that's not the case in last 4 or 5 years, but that has been the case historically for last 20 years, 30 years, or even 35 years. And if I'm thinking about building this portfolio for a long period of time, I don't want a gold exposure because it's not going to give me a better returns than Nifty. It's only a hedge. And I prefer using cash as hedge for me because it also opens up opportunity for me rather than investing in this index. So that's the reason I changed my mind. So how will I rank this particular trade? Now, from the moment I completed that trade, the world actually changed drastically. Trump got elected. Then we had conflict in the Middle East, and then there was a conflict in Asian continent. And because of that, in the recent time, a lot of central banks have been purchasing gold to hedge their currency uh, against the yellow metal. And since then, there has been a massive surge in the price of gold ETFs. So I didn't see that one coming. I think I have to put it in this bucket because if I would have expected that a gold would see a massive rally of 50% in next 1 year, I would have doubled down my investment. So my last and final trade of year 2024-2025 was in an index called Motilal Oswal Nasdaq 100 ETF. And I purchased this index at a time when it was trading around 90, which was its lowest, and I was able to gain a profit of about 1,34,000. Now, this is almost I think 80 to 90% gain over a period of about 2.5 years. I was expecting that return to be in the ranges of 40% to 50% over a period of 2 3 years, but I think I got a bit lucky as well. So, how would I rank this entire trade? Now, I invested in Nasdaq 100 back in 2022 when the entire tech index was facing a lot of pressure because the entire tech industry was under government scrutiny. And I was able to enjoy a healthy return of about 90% in a period of 2 to 3 years. However, I think I was a bit lucky in this entire trade as well. Since the downside protection was huge because these companies are 100 biggest non-financial tech companies or any other companies trading in Nasdaq, I was sure that I'm not going to lose all my money or the downside protection would be at max 20-25% from the value it was trading back then. And I was expecting a performance of about 40-45% to 50% over a period of 2 to 3 years. However, I got a return of about 90%, and that's why I think I would categorize this into, I think I was right, but I got a bit lucky as well. So from this trade, I was able to get a profit of about 1,38,000. So this brings our total to about 3,06,000. So this is the rank for all of my trades of year 2024-2025. My shittiest trade was an index called Varanium. Then some trades Actually, I made a mistake by selling too early, such as gold ETF. Some of the trades were completely pointless, like Nika and HDFC Bank. In some of the trades, I was actually correct, but it did not move the needle by a huge margin. And in some of the trades, I actually got lucky, specifically the Nifty India Defense ETF, Nasdaq 100, and FANG ETF. However, I did not take the bet so big that it actually made my profit and loss statement profitable. So all in all, I am sitting on a loss of 6 lakh just on the trades of year 2024 2025, about 6.5 lakh. And that's it, what I have for you for today's episode. I hope you find this video useful. Do hit the like button because it helps support this video to reach more users. Subscribe to Vishal Wealth View, and bye bye. Stay safe. Happy investing.